Good afternoon, guys. MWUSA Season 5, Episode 55. It is Sunday afternoon, and today is the day that we spring forward on the time. So it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but really it's 2 o'clock. We are just leaving home. We're going to head away from home to a casino. And I contemplated not going here, but it's not going to be a huge deal, but hopefully make some money there. And then we're going to head back toward home and then head out for the day. So we may stop at the house, we may not, just depending on what's going on. But right now we're heading out to our first casino. It is a warmer day today, but not a warm day. So it's right now the temperature is 56 degrees outside, and tonight's low is going to be 40. It is sunny, almost clear skies. Well, I guess pretty much clear skies. I don't see any clouds out there. So it's a nice day, reasonable day for traveling, and we're just heading out. Like I said, we're going to hit one casino first and then head back toward home, and then we're going to pass home and go 4 hours past home. So it's going to be kind of a longer day, but I want to make this stop first. Today I've already made, yesterday I made like $20-$30 online. Today I've made about a little over $230 online. So that's all helpful, moving us in the right direction, of course. But other than that, not really much going on right now. So let's head out, and I'll come back and update you soon. Alright guys, as I'm driving to my first casino here, I want to tell you a little bit about my day yesterday. Yesterday, had an appointment in the morning, and then took my son with me to a Tesla dealership, and we were picking up a Cybertruck, and we were doing a 1-hour test drive, and we decided to drive it home. So I asked them, I said, it's going to take longer than an hour. Is that okay? They said yes. And we got things started, and the vehicle drove itself all the way home. I did nothing at all. Didn't touch the steering wheel, didn't touch any of the pedals, nothing. And then we got home, and it parked in front of the house, and we couldn't get it to go anywhere anymore. I couldn't get it to move anywhere. I couldn't get it out of park, and I couldn't understand why. Now, what happened was, after we left the dealership, we noticed that there were 2 spots there for, you could charge your phone. So my son put his there, I put mine there, and we drove home. And I sat in front of the house trying to figure out what was going on, couldn't figure it out. Turns out that that same spot is where you put the key card. And I guess I didn't have the key turned on my phone, so with my phone there was no real key running it. So I moved my phone, put the other card on there instead, and it seemed to be okay. And we ended up driving back to the dealership. Now, there are multiple different, and you're going to have to excuse me not remembering all the different things, but there's different levels of driving. So there's slow driving, which is sloth, and then slow driving. Sloth is the slowest, then there's slow, and there's standard, and then there's extreme, and then there's Mad Max, which is like very fast driving, weaving in and out of traffic, speeding, all that stuff. So I put on Mad Max, and we were on a 45-mile-an-hour road, and it just took off like a bullet and got up to 45 immediately and was actually speeding. Got on the highway. We were on a road that was a 65-mile-an-hour road, and it was doing about 82, weaving in and out of cars. So I took it back down to extreme, then eventually back to standard. And it's very interesting. It's pretty amazing how it understands the road and what's going on. Like, for example, this car has a thing to stay in the right lane, and that's not perfect. It's not that great. And this uses radar and all that stuff. Tesla only uses cameras, and it knew everything. It went everywhere, went between cars, put the signal on, put the signal off, did everything. And I really enjoyed it. And I feel like, I talked about having maybe an assistant or someone helping me. If I could get a self-driving Tesla, fully autonomous Tesla, then I could be practically taking a nap. I could be working on my computer. I could be doing a lot of things, and be able to get home, get to the casinos, and do the things that I need to do. So that's always a possibility. Now, I know I just bought a car, but I got a kid who's going to need a car soon, so maybe give that car to them. I'm not really sure yet. I don't know. Maybe I get one of these things. Who knows? After that, there was also a gathering for Lego stuff that we went to, and it was actually pretty bad compared to last year. Last year was really good, lots of big displays, only a few stores. This was like 90% people trying to sell you stuff. Things that were $75 originally going for $350 and stuff like that. Just a little bit too much. We still had a pretty good time there, but there's admission to it, and it really wasn't worth the admission to be able to go in and just buy stuff. I can buy stuff on eBay, so that was interesting. Went home and did a bunch of other stuff. We ended up getting some Indian food last night. So yesterday was a decent day. It was a day off, restful day. This morning woke up to the time change, went to church, came home, had lunch, and here we are. So right now we're still on our way to the first casino, and I'll come back and update you. Alright guys, I am back, and things looked pretty miserable there for a while. I got in there, immediately saw people checking machines, people I didn't know. I didn't know anybody in there that was checking. I saw at least 4 people, and I didn't recognize any of them. Walked around, looked, found nothing, walked around, looked some more, found nothing, finally found a play, played it through, lost $20, found another play, put my card in, wouldn't accept my card, put it in, wouldn't accept my card. It took them like 7 minutes to reboot the thing to get it to accept my card. Finally got it working, ended up losing money on that one. Then I was ready to leave. I was down $1.99, ready to leave, and I found another play at $4 a spin, hit a little bonus on it, paid me like $40. It was terrible. And then finally hit what I was going for and ended up with a nice payout, and ended up leaving ahead $823 plus $823 at that first stop. And I'm getting calls from home, so I need to go home real quick here, see what's going on, get everything taken care of, and we'll head back out again. But we had a good start, plus 823, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. Just leaving home. Got everything taken care of. Everything seems to be good, and we are just heading out. Again, up 823 to first spot, up 232 I believe online today, so we're up 1,000 already. I'd love to stack another 1,000 on top of that, make today really worthwhile. Well, I was going to tell you, my back. I know for sure the reason my back hurts is because of the seat. If you remember when I was buying this car, when I was buying my Accord, not this car, when I was buying my car, I was going to buy a smaller one, a Civic, and I decided against it because the seat was very uncomfortable, very small. This seems to be the same seat, the same hard seat, cloth seat, too small, too narrow, and I think that's what's been hurting my back. I have not heard back from the dealership yet, but it makes no sense for me to remind them that I still have the rental, because I have the rental and it's free miles. So we're going to go throw another 600 probably on it today and go from there. But still, beautiful day. 61 degrees right now, and this is going to be the longest part of our journey. So we're going to sit back, relax. We're going to stop in about 100 miles or so, get some fuel, and then we'll continue the trip and get to our next casino. I'll be back. Okay, just want to kind of mark this occasion here by recording it. They have a Stay 17 table at $50 and a Hit 17 table next to it at $100 minimum. That's right, you heard me right. The Hit 17 table is $100 minimum, but the Stay 17 table is a $50 minimum. We're dealing with some really bright lights around here. All right. continuing on. So far, not making much money, but I'll be back. You got the band going. They're like, let's hear it for the casino. And everyone's like, hooray. Let's hear it again. Hooray. One more time. Hooray. All right. Now we can start going, man. Everybody's in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, pretty miserable right now. I was ahead like 115 on slots right away. And then long desert for a long time, made like $2 more. And then we're looking for a blackjack table. Finally found one. As soon as I found one, pit boss got changed to the only pit boss in this whole casino that knows me. But of course, I walked away from the table. Ugh. Found a different table. All the tables were so high for some reason. I don't know what's going on. There doesn't seem to be any kind of event going on in the area or anything like that. But it's up there. But I did finally find a table, sat down, bought in for 300 and played there for a minute. And it was like the last hand or two of the shoe. Played it out. I was ahead like $100 at the end of the shoe. Started the next shoe and complete destruction right away. It's like when I had no idea where we were, I was doing okay. As soon as I knew where we were, it went straight down and down and down. Anyway, I ended up making 100 on that table anyway, walking away. There were a couple people watching, wanting to get in. It was going negative and more negative and more negative. So just decided to walk away from it. Saw a bunch of my pals in here, saw the manager in here, slot manager who used to work in the daytime, now seems to be working at night. I've seen him on evenings a couple times now, so now we know where he went. That's why we didn't see him anymore. And here, see, we're over at the quiet side of the casino here where the speakers don't work. Anyway, oh, there's a play. Oh my gosh, can I get to it in time? Anyway, right now I had 117 on slots, 100 on blackjack. Let me hop on this table here on this slot. Oh, someone's on it. All right, I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. I am sitting in the car. Just had a nice chicken Caesar salad. Whew, that was good. It was good. It was really needed. And anyway, I ended up ahead 169 on slots and only ahead 100 on blackjack. And I'm thinking I'll probably come back in a little while and see what's going on. Just because I really couldn't play. High limit was full. Low limit was $100, $50. I did find a $25 table. That's the table I played. I don't know how loud it was when I was recording that segment, but I only ended up ahead $100. It was a negative count. People were waiting to get on the table, standing there like, okay, can I get in now? Can I get in now? So I was out of there. So only ahead a little bit there, 100 on blackjack, 169 on slots, and we're going to move on to another place and hopefully have some more opportunities. But kind of heartbroken, really, because this place was going to be my main event today, and so far, not so great. So let's go to another place, and then we'll come back here later on. All right, guys, just leaving this place, and not much better. No tables available, nothing good. Played some slots, had some ups and downs, and squeaked out barely ahead $59. But it was very busy in there. Lots of people checking machines. Tables, a lot of tables, but not a lot of good games. And even the bad games had a lot of people playing, so no chance of playing any tables. So at this point, I was close to home. I wanted a quick $800. Now I've been driving, and I'm only ahead another 300. So it's been pretty pathetic. Yeah, I kind of feel like just taking a minute break here, sitting in the car for a minute. Then I'll head back to the other casino and see if I can make anything happen. But so far, pretty not great. Lackluster, I guess is the word. Plus 59 there. And we'll head back to the other casino here in a few minutes. I'll be back. All right, guys. Just leaving this place, and yeah, still pretty frustrated. Wasn't able to play any table games. Um, very busy. Just a lot of stuff going on. Very noisy. A lot of people. I actually saw tonight. I probably saw 5 groups of people getting escorted out of the casino. That's a lot of people. Um, when I was here earlier, there was like a black man with like a nice suit on being escorted out by 2 security guards. I saw a couple groups of kids, 3 or 4 groups of kids being escorted out. When I was walking back in this time, there were like 3 guys walking out with 2 or 3 security guards behind them and 2 police officers watching them from like 50 feet away. Um, I walked right by the police officers and they didn't look very happy to see me either. I don't know what their deal was, but they were pretty grumpy looking. I had a big smile on my face and they weren't very happy to see me, I don't think. But um, overall, just not much opportunity. And, when I tell you how much I'm winning and stuff, be like, okay, well, you made money though. But yeah, I made money. But do you know how far I drove? Do you know how much time it took to get to this area? And now we're talking about making that little bit of money. I mean, come on. There is definitely something going on here because now there's police at every intersection and they're waving people by. So right now I'm at a green light and the cops are waving people the other way, so just waiting. So there's definitely some kind of event going on. That's why the minimums were so high. Now we got 4 lanes merging into one. Everybody mad at everyone. It's really nice. This guy's gonna hop in front of me. Go ahead. All right, it's all right. The thing about it, man, is with traffic, unless your car's getting hit or something really bad's happening to you, you gotta take it in stride sometimes, man. Because some people are crazy, other people don't know what they're doing, other people are bad drivers, and if you let every little thing get you mad, you're never gonna have a good day. And you're talking to a person who's driven over 1.5 million miles in my life. For sure over 1.5 million, because I've had at least 3 cars with 300,000 miles and at least a couple more with 200,000. So I've driven a lot of miles and I've seen a lot of things. I've seen a lot of accidents, a lot of really bad things on the road, and you got to take it easy and not let things get to you. But as far as that casino, I did end up playing 2 or 3 machines. That was it. Ended a session ahead 103, and just really wanted to play some blackjack today and just didn't get the opportunity. In fact, one of the blackjack tables had a side bet that was temporarily beatable and I couldn't even get on there. Yeah, I would have played a 6-5 table if I could have, because it was in such good position, but I couldn't even do that. There was nothing available. So high limits. The lowest limit I saw was $25. Most were $50, $100, or $200 minimums. So it was really, really packed. I don't know if there was a sporting event going on, a fight, a race, I don't know what the heck, a concert, but definitely all the places in the area that I went to, all were pretty busy. So right now, we're going to have a little ways to go before our next stop. We're heading toward home. We are going to stop again. It is after midnight, and it's unfortunate that, I think I made like $425 since I left my area, and like $12.50, $12.60 for the day, which is good. But heck, I could have stayed home and been ahead 800 and something, and not had to drive all this distance and gotten to see my wife and my kids. I mean, it's definitely worth it for the money, but sometimes when you drive that many miles over and over again, you start thinking, how much is my time with my family worth that I'm missing out on? So I really value that time, and I'm trying to treasure every moment of my kids' lives as they're getting older, as they're getting grumpy teenagers and all that kind of stuff. I'm still trying to value all that time and, watch them. And even when I'm frustrated with them, I laugh and, enjoy those moments. But those moments are slipping away, and pretty soon they're all going to be gone, and it's just going to be me and my wife and our retirement. And, I'm going to miss them. So, I'd rather be home lots of times, especially on those terrible days where you just have a bad day and you're losing a bunch of money and you don't get to see your kid. And I'm going to miss one of my kids' concerts for the second time, and both times I was in Vegas. I'm going to miss the concert on the 26th or 27th, something like that, for one of my kids, and it's a shame. If I had known, I might have moved my dates to something else, but anyway, I know it's for the good of the family, so we're doing our best. So right now we're heading out of the city. Let me talk about gas prices a little bit. Oil is way up tonight. It's gone up another $23 to like $114 a barrel. It was like in the mid 60s to high 60s when the war started. So that's unfortunate. Hopefully there's a quick end to it, and things get better real soon. But now it's going to start affecting the silver prices also, because gold will go up when there's a lot of bad stuff going on. Silver will too, but silver is also affected by industry. And if people stop buying stuff because there's less money, because they're paying more for fuel and things like that, then they're going to buy less things. If they buy less things, then less silver is needed to create those things. Those electric cars, those solar panels, computers, CPUs, motherboards, all those different things. And that means if there's less demand for silver, the price is going to go down. So it's probably good for the country for the price to go down temporarily. But for me, who's invested in silver, it's not good for me. So anyway, hopefully there's an abrupt end to the war, and demand picks back up again and things start moving back in the direction that I want. But anyway, let's move on. Next casino, I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back, and really not much going on at that place. This is a smaller place in a smaller town, far from the other area that I was, and really just wasn't much going on. I did pick up some money, but not very much. But hey, you know what? The way today is going, we'll keep taking nickels and dimes if that's the way it has to be. So I ended up ahead $65. I'm trying to think how many machines I played. Was it just one? I think it was just one. I looked at quite a bit. I was in there for about half an hour or so, but there just wasn't much there. There was another one that was kind of borderline, same type of machine, but the first one didn't pay very well, and I just thought it wasn't really worthwhile to go again on the other one, because the RTP, the return to player, probably isn't good at this place. So if it was borderline and the return to player is poor, then it's probably just under positive expected value, so probably wouldn't be worth it. So I let that one stay. And like I said, up $65, got something to drink, used the restroom, everything is good. I really didn't need that 5 or 10 minutes in the car a couple casinos ago, because I was just like, man, I keep going all these long distances and nothing is working out, not making any money anywhere. But you know what? All those things added together still ended up being about $500. So we're up like 13 something today. That's not a bad day at all. If I'm making $1,300 a day, I'm a very happy guy. So right now we're gonna head toward home. Let's do some segments here we'll talk about tomorrow. What did you eat today, MW? My wife made like a little taco bar earlier today. I did that with some low carb soft taco shells, and that was really good. I give that a Jack on a scale of 2 through 8. She did a really good job. And then I had a Caesar salad, Caesar chicken Caesar salad, whatever. with a little bit of extra Caesar dressing. The dressing was okay. I know it sounds weird, but there's been a couple actual Caesars properties that have gotten Caesar salad at that was really, really good. But I think the dressing is the whole thing. Otherwise, what is it? Lettuce and cheese. There's not really that much to it. But I give that salad like an 8 on a scale of 2 through 8. And what did you tip today, MW? I had one session of blackjack and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sessions of slots. And I tipped a total of $0. And what did you learn today, MW? Well, I guess don't judge a book by its cover today. I thought the first casino was going to be a bust. I was down a couple $100 and looking bad, and I was ready to leave. I was down like 190, I believe, and I thought everything was all done. And then all of a sudden, this money just hits me in the face, and it ends up being my biggest hit of the day. And then the rest of the day ended up only being 2/3 of what I did there. So, you just, even if a place is probably not going to give you a lot, you're already nearby, you might as well swing by, give it a shot, and that's what I did. And then this last place here was off my radar completely. I didn't go to this place for a long time, and just starting to go back there again. Had a little bit of heat there, had a couple incidents there, and didn't go for a long time. Then I started going back, and I was wearing a jacket and a hat, covering my ears just in case the facial recognition, covering my eyebrows, all that stuff. And then I started going in without covering that. And then today I went in with just short sleeve shirt and nothing covering me up at all, and didn't have an issue. And so I feel like I'm back at this place. So we're adding this place back into the mix, and I think I should average between $50 and $75 a stop here. So assuming, let's say, twice a week, if I could do it twice a week, I think 75 is a decent number to go by. It's $150 a week, and 150 times 52, that's a lot of money. That's like $7,800 I can pick up just by swinging by this place that I wouldn't have had. And the last full year that I was here, it was one of my biggest stops. So although I did notice a lot of the Advantage stuff is gone now, they have made a lot of changes, but I think everything is still, still a possibility of making money, so we'll keep on trying. Tomorrow is Monday morning. I know for a fact tomorrow is like a ridiculous number of meetings. I know because I booked some of them myself, and last week I was on call and I didn't completely finish all my work, so I will work on it in the morning before I leave for work. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that one was canceled. That one was canceled. 6. Only 6 meetings. So there was going to be 8 meetings. Now there's only 6 meetings for tomorrow. And I believe I can still hit the casino twice, even with all that going on. So I think that's all good. And then Tuesday, no meetings. Wednesday, no meetings. Thursday, a lot of meetings, like 4 meetings. Friday, 1 meeting. So overall this week, other than Thursday, which has for some reason a ridiculous number of meetings, this week should be pretty light. So that's all good. And my on-call just ended at, actually I think it ended yesterday, like Saturday night. So we're good. Yeah, right now we're just going to head home, take our time, got hours to go. Sun will be coming out. Actually, it'll be a little darker today because the time moved forward, so it'll be a little bit darker in the morning. So right now it's 51 degrees as I'm heading toward home, and I'll catch up with you tomorrow, which is really today. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.